All right. This is a review series I'm starting on Breaking Bad. I know Breaking Bad's been off the air for about 6 years now, but I finally caved under pressure, I guess, to watch this series. Um, it won a lot of awards, and it's been referenced in, I don't know, everything: music videos, other TV shows, movies. It's all over the place. Of course, I was my my reasoning for being drawn to it is the main character. I don't know, was it Walter White? I think. Yeah, Mr. White. Uh, I knew him from another TV show. It's his acting style from another TV show some years ago. Malcolm in the Middle, if anybody's interested. Um, so let's just get right into it. I mean, overall, I feel like they did a pretty good job. The writers, I mean, the writers and the director, they do a pretty good job of drawing you into the story automatically with the main character, Mr. White, of course, standing in the middle of the road holding like a very expensive handgun with no pants on, just tidy whities about out of all things. So you're like, tell me more. The story starts off normal, I guess. I mean, first of all, I have to say it hasn't aged well. You can tell that it's like 90s. It gives a real 90s type of vibe to it. Even though the show came out early 2000s, if I'm not mistaken. But it takes a few years for the last decade to be washed completely away in real life. But it gives it a real 90s vibe, and I don't think that holds up today in 2019. But maybe I'm nitpicking. But the story goes on. It it elevates itself by, of course, by the actors. The story itself is given more life from the actors. They're good actors. Um, the guy who plays Mr. White, his wife, Mrs. White, I'm not too fond of at this point. His son Junior, he's hilarious, even though he has um, a disability. But I think that's just what I feel like. Hopefully they don't down the line. Hopefully the writers and the director don't lean on his disability too much to kind of like uh, uh, even out the balance of the show, so to speak, because they can, no pun intended, or lack of better term, they're going to use his disability as a crutch to kind of like save the episode. They can do that. I'm hoping they don't rely on that too much. I'm hoping they just rely on the story itself. They did a really good job of painting him as a loser for the most part. There's a plaque on his wall from God knows how long when. It's only one. It's ancient history, basically. He's a school teacher. He gets to work. He's overly excited about chemistry, but of course, the kids, everybody's been there. We're not. Most of us aren't too excited to be in school. We'd rather be doing other things. We're still finding out a lot. Life is still unraveling right before our eyes at that age, even at 18. I mean, now we're skating reality and fiction, of course, but some kids have seen more than other kids. That I'll admit. As far as this TV show goes, I think they do a good job of creating a great atmosphere for the setting. I mean, it takes place in New Mexico. It's pretty barren. The in-laws, now they liven up the story a lot. Of course, I'm a I like the husband as far as the in-law goes. He's a DA agent. But I like how it's all tied together too. So he's going through all these problems. They set him up as a loser. Well, I don't say look, man, that's too harsh. They set up him as somebody who's fallen on hard times, who's been kind of like shoehorned into his existence. Like he's doing everything because he works two jobs. His kid has a disability, and then just to add some more flavor to it, you find out that the character has lung cancer. Oh Jesus! And they do a great job of introducing that too. It's little things that are getting me excited to watch this series. I know it's been off the air for a while, but I still want to watch it. I'm personally watching it on Netflix right now. The episode ultimately comes back to the beginning, and you figure out how all that transpired. Well, I mean, once he finds out he has lung cancer, he's like, oh shit, he makes the point of telling him like, my health insurance isn't that good. So now he has to figure out a way to pay for it. So he gets excited by his in-law actually doing a drug bust. You see how much money is involved in it, and the guy who plays Mr. White does such a great job of showing you that he's actually thinking, he's doing the math in his head as he's watching the news report. Like, damn, I could do this and that with that much money. This will help me with that, and you can see him. You see the actor inside that character running through his head what he could do with that type of money. So of course he inquires about a ride along, and during this ride along, a coincidence occurs that only, what should I say, a coincidence that can only occur in a fictional world such as a movie or TV show happens. The person that's being raided just happens to be one of his ex-students. He winds up getting away. I mean, he was fucking a textbook blonde housewife next door, big fake tits, of course, small waist, like see the pelvis bone almost. I mean, I'm personally not attracted to that type of woman, but I won't turn it down, but I'm not attracted to it. But anyway, he gets away, tracks him down, which I thought was pretty. It just adds to the cleverness of this character, and his whole evolution throughout the episode as well, because he starts off as like being somewhat of a pushover. Really, at the end of the episode, he's pretty much kicking tail and taking names, or whatever the expression is. He's doing that. He turns from a beta personality to a type A or alpha personality, which is like, okay. I mean, I guess they have to do it kind of fast to get the story rolling, but I would have liked to seen that go a little bit slower personally, because I mean, but the thing is, this episode doesn't even have a name. It's titled Pilot, so I'm assuming they're like trying to give you as much flavor as you can without overpowering you to reel in the network, to make them want this program. But they do a good job of it. I've heard nothing but good things about this TV show. I mean, so I'm excited to see where it's gonna go. And of course, it ends with him actually cooking up some methamphetamines. Is that the right way to put it? Is it just meth? Whatever. He winds up cooking up the drugs, which I think is pretty cool. I mean, I tend to like chemistry, but I'm not into all that hard stuff. I wouldn't. If I was in this situation, if I was in that character situation, would I do the same thing? And if I had his knowledge, probably. Why not? But I like the change of this character. I think it's pretty good. I like that he turns it around almost. He basically flips everybody off. Fuck you. And at the end of the episode, he gets away. They get into a situation where he winds up having to eliminate two people who were trying to eliminate him. His former student, is unscathed by the incident as well. So at the end of the episode, he winds up going home with his wife, and being so charged up, they do some, try to keep this PG, they do some adult wrestling, which I don't know if it's necessarily a good way to end the episode, but the whole first episode was good. I'm still gonna rate it pretty low. It wasn't exactly what I was looking for. I mean, I don't know what I was looking for. I'm just gonna go into it. I'm gonna continue going into it with an open mind, trying not to be overly critical, and enjoy what I'm watching. Hopefully I can finish out the whole series. What? Well, I mean, we'll see what happens. Till then, I'll see you next week.